let's see. All right, so should be live then, I guess. So you'll have to monitor some of the chat then. So, because I'm not seeing it showing up on here, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. But okay, so.
I gotta change the logo.
Okay. So I'm looking to see if there's anything with the live stuff, because I did a quick video that was on there, and then that was it. But I'm not seeing how I would see if there's live. Oh, you know what? Maybe if I switch over to the switch accounts and get over to this, go to the studio. And if anybody's seeing this stuff, stand by. We're still straightening out our technical expertise or lack thereof. Yeah. So, all right. So let's see if we have any live. I see the latest live stream performance was the one that I had done. So, which was just a real quick job. So, all right. Because I would like to see our chat, but hopefully that's going to be. We'll have to wait a minute to see if that pops up here. Because usually it'll say it's live now.
Ooh, I got to change this over. Hold on. We're going to go live. I'm going to put us on live.
Okay.
We'll just wait.
All right. I see a Mystic. Okay. So I see where it says Mystic Eye Games Stream.
There is a delay.
Mute that.
Let me mute that out. Okay, there's a delay. It should
Okay.
delay. It should change over soon.
Yeah. So I see it on there. It says, "Hello, viewers. We are live." Somebody's like, "Look harder." So I'll be looking at the chat page. So I'm not going to be looking at our screen, so to speak. But anyways.
Hey, are you seeing?
You want to kick us off, Doug?
What?
I said, you want to kick us off?
Kick us off?
Because we are live, and there's.
Hold on, I am not seeing us on the stream.
I am.
Hold on. Okay. Nope. That's not us at all. Okay. There we go. There's
a delay. All right. Okay.
We are looking harder, but we're going to give it just a few more. I think we'll give everybody a couple minutes. We're here. We're actually live. By hook or by crook, we made it to the live stream. Though it was quite a challenge.
Yeah. So we did. Fortunately. So but yeah, I'm glad I'm actually looking forward to just kind of hanging out this evening and kind of doing a little bit of a year-end wrap up and talk about Christmas and talk about our channel and talk to our viewers.
Yeah.
And see if they. So that's going to be really good. So we have Shane here. So Shane, thank you for joining us. Just got a couple people watching. I know that our buddy Chris should be joining us. I was telling him before that we were going to be on, and then I know Bernd should be joining. He should be checking in later on. He was watching Elf with his family.
And
so I'm like. So I guess we're not as important as Will Ferrell,
no.
That's okay.
But I can tell you, we were 45 minutes late, so I think it's only fair that we give people a few minutes to find us again, and that was completely my fault. Yeah. So
yeah, I was ready.
You were ready.
But
you were ready. It was all me. That's typically the case.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you're just joining, hello. We're just giving people a chance. We got a late start due to some things and stuff, so we're getting there. Just giving people a little more time. If you have any questions, you want us to address anything while we're waiting for some other folks to join or whatever, please type it into the chat. We'll be happy to start answering any particular questions you might have about the channel, about us, about what we're doing, what we're planning to do. Then we have some planned discussions that we're going to have, and even if people don't join us here, they can watch the replay on YouTube.
Right.
So it'll
Right.
be
So
good.
did you get while we're waiting? Did you get any gaming in done this week besides the what you were doing for the channel, or was that done before the final with the
The
final
Final
girl?
Girl. So I still got Final Girl back there on the table. I'm playing a new scenario with that one, but I did not get to play anything with the family. I do have. It just came in the mail. Um, the Hunger, which
Okay.
is the new board slash deck building game by the creators of Clank,
Right.
but it's about vampires instead, which I thought was an interesting theme. So and you have to get in out of the castle and do all this stuff and get points and stuff, and then get back before you burn up and die in the sun.
Oh,
So I'm looking forward to that
that's
one. It's a
cool.
good family game. I mean, we played Clank, I think most of the Clank versions, and Clank Legacy with the kids. It was a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
we
So
played Clank Legacy. Clank Legacy was fun. So, of course, I got dogs barking upstairs. Hopefully, you don't hear them too much.
I'm waiting for
But
mine to start.
yeah, this week, I did not get a chance to get any gaming done this week. This past weekend, my daughter was home, and she was getting ready she just took her boards for veterinary boards. Yes, yesterday.
Yeah.
So, but she was taking a break on Sunday, and we played Sequence. So, which is that basically try to get 5 in a row. You're playing the cards, like suits
Yeah.
of like decks of cards, like two. So we played that. That was pretty fun. I won one game, she won the other one, so that was kind of cool. She's not really into like the regular board gaming stuff like I am. I did have a couple things show up in the mail. I bought a one of those collector's edition of Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition. They had them for $27.99 on Amazon.
It's a good
So
price.
that was pretty cheap. It was actually cheaper than the Target edition, and it has the dual layered player boards and the game tray things in there, so you have extra stuff.
Oh
Just
wow,
doesn't have the
nice.
promos yeah, it doesn't have the promos like the Kickstarter. And then I made a trade with the designer of Obsession, which is this worker placement card game. It's set in Victorian England. It's a lot of people say it's basically Downton Abbey, the board game.
Yeah, yeah. Hey,
And
I
you've
just
got
want to
so
welcome the folks coming in real quick. King Player, it's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for saying hello. And I'm going to get this wrong. It's BJ. Oh no, it's easy. BJJ Zombie saying hello to us
yes,
from
hello.
Vegas. So welcome,
All right.
welcome. And it
Yep.
looks like
So we got
Shane
four.
was
Yeah.
watching TV with their daughter and just decided to check us out. So I appreciate that too. It's awesome.
Awesome. So, in the meantime, yeah, so those are a couple of things that we got started, but I guess, people will be trickling in. So there's like 4 or 5 people watching now, so we could probably just get started
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
talking about stuff. So, um, kind of figured we could probably kick off our thing with maybe talking about some of our channel highlights from this past year. Maybe kind of poll our audience and see what they were saying. But we'll start with Doug. I mean, it's your channel. For those of you who don't know, I'm Dave, and this is like Doug's been running this channel for a long time, and we had met and started communicating because I was actually a fan of his channel and liked his video work. And it just so happened that we have a lot of things in common. And through just a course of actions, we are now working together on this channel. So I am like a contributor and part of Mystic Eye Games. So I came on early in 2020 and made a number of videos. Most notably, I had kicked off a campaign with Shadows of Brimstone. Kind of lasted a long time, which was I didn't really talk about it when it was going on, but I had a big gap in the videos because I had my sister-in-law who was living with us, and she basically had passed away from cancer, so we had a lot of that stuff going on. So there was kind of a gap in the play there, but. And then we kind of did a bunch of things playing around with the flying frog games. So I think for me, the channel highlight for what I did was probably couple of things during the Shadows of Brimstone. My characters, we had Juva, Ezra, and Branson. They were getting trounced, and then they came across, just by luck, a healing fountain that restored all of their health, essentially, and just all it did was just prolong their existence so that they can continue to take another beating. So
Yeah.
that was kind of like, that was like probably my favorite thing that happened for while I was playing. And then I also did enjoy during October, when we were doing all of our different spooky theme games, my playthrough that I had done against the Scarecrow with A Touch of Evil.
Yeah.
Doug, yourself?
Yeah. So actually, the highlight. Okay, I'm going to embarrass you right now, Dave. The highlight for me last year with the channel was you coming on.
Oh, thank you.
I've been doing the channel for a long time, and I'm looking for ways to freshen things up and get more creative and do some things different. And it's always been fun to me to do this as a hobby. And I was thinking, God, it was serendipity that we connected, and started talking. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the things I love about this work in the community is I've made friends through this, and you're one of them, and now you're a part of the channel, and we're doing some really cool stuff, and it's giving us the opportunity to show some different perspectives and put different games on the table, and have more running than I've ever been
Mm-hmm.
able to do on my own. So to me, I think that's the highlight. If the pinnacle highlight for me was having you join me on this and having somebody to share this experience with. It's been a lot of fun. And then secondly, was the Flying Frogs October. It's just like, I don't think I've ever had so many games run in a month as we did. I mean, we were doing a video almost every day.
Yeah, it was like every day there was something else. I'm like,
Yeah.
for the people that were watching, it's like, okay, what are we keeping up with? Okay, we've Dave on Monday. It looks like Dave was like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Doug was Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. It was like every day there was something coming up, and that was actually like a lot of fun to hit on just a bunch of spooky themed games. I thought that was really, really cool to be able to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great. Even though I don't think we won most of them. It was okay.
No, and I think that right now, when it comes to any of the any game that requires dice rolling, it has been God, it's been, I don't know. I suck at rolling dice. I mean, or they don't like me. Let's put it this way. So anyways, let's see who we got. Okay, yeah. Oh, hey, Barrett is here. So thank you guys. Thank you for your comment there. Yeah, you guys are great together. And then also BJJ Zombie. Yeah, October was great. He's zoned out on so many conference calls watching this video. I do not want to be responsible for anybody losing their job
or families
over this, but or losing their family. Because as it is, I mean, I kind of have a bone to pick with Doug. I don't bring it up, but he's cost me a lot of money because he brings out these silly games to the table, and then I end up liking them, and I end up buying them. So, but
Barrett,
yeah,
really
so that's cool. I appreciate.
I would say, Barrett, it's really good to have you in channel. If those of you that are watching, you probably watch this channel anyway, because we got a lot of similar vibes on our games, right? But if you're not, go definitely check out Meet Me at the Table. Barrett is one of the nicest people in the contributor space, maybe on the planet. I don't know, but he's a great guy, and check his stuff out. He's got more energy than I can ever put into a video.
So. I was gonna say he's hard to keep up with the energy that he brings. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
October. I know. I get that every once in a while where someone says you're making me spend money. I'm like, oh, that's not what I'm trying to do. If it's
right.
If you're seeing things you like, that's great. So.
Yeah, or it's fun. A lot of times people may just like the fact that it's like, okay, we're playing. You're bringing some of the table that you like. Like we're bringing games like in October when we're bringing games to the table, that we liked. Like A Touch of Evil. I love it. So, people will pick up on that. And if they haven't played it, then they're like, oh man, I gotta get that, and stuff. So that's which is kind of cool. That way, I mean, we're not getting, we're not being compensated from Flying Frog Productions, even though we've covered like most of their catalog over the past year. I
We
think the only
have.
thing that we did not do was the two Last Night on Earth and Invasion from Outer Space, the Martian game. And somebody had asked about that, and I'm going to have to work it out with Chris. I told him his new thing is because so my friend Chris he's got cerebral palsy. He's in a wheelchair and he's actually watching. He's King Player 14.
Oh, that's right. That's
So
right.
I call him he is crippled Chris, my delightfully disabled counterpart, and he. If I can get him to play with me, we can do a 2-player. One person would actually have to control the aliens, and the other ones would control all of the circus performers, which is probably what he'd want to do because I know for a fact that he wants to play Jojo the Dancing Bear. So I'm going to see
Yeah,
if we can maybe make that happen in 2022. So, and that would at least we'd cover almost the whole entire catalog.
yeah.
So,
Shane,
so
Flying Frog
yeah,
games are fantastic. It depends. I'm going to say it depends. If you're a Euro gamer and you have any feelings around randomness that's negative, you won't like a Flying Frog game. It's a lot of
right.
roll and move, a lot of dice chucking. Terrible things can happen. Um, if you want to really get a highlight of that, watch my recent attempt to try and defeat the Nutcracker in in A Touch of Evil, where I got absolutely destroyed in 4 videos. It was awful. It was just a mess. Um, and that gives you a
That
good
was
example.
actually, yeah, Doug. That was actually like 3 videos and a 7-minute prologue.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly what it was. Well, I didn't even realize. I think I told you this. I had kept filming because I didn't realize I lost, and then I was like, "Wait a second, I'm forgetting something important here." And I went and looked at it. God, I lost. And so I cut it and came back and edited that part back in. So it was
Yeah.
crazy.
So, but yeah, but for sure the Flying Frog games, they're a lot of fun. Like Doug said, they're some of them carry a hefty price tag, but the amount of replayability that you have in them, and I would say if you wanted to start out, like if you were going to jump into the world of Flying Frog Productions, I would say spend the money and get yourself A Touch of Evil, the 10th anniversary
Hmm.
edition.
Hmm.
That is probably the best value for your money, and it's going to offer you probably the easiest of their catalog to play, just because a lot of it is straightforward. There's not a lot of convoluted rules, and you're not having to worry about like a one versus many like Last Night on Earth. That's not a complicated game, and then Shadows of Brimstone is great, but there's a lot of intricacies that are in there, like a lot of little things that you have to pay attention to. But that is another great one. But that could also be a money pit if you really fall into it, because there's a lot of stuff for that. So, but I would think if you're going to really try in, Touch of Evil would probably be the best one. It has the really cool gothic horror theme, and there's a lot of stuff right in that box. And then to expand the game out, there's only 2 big box expansions and then some additional characters, and you pretty much have there's like a handful of card supplements, and you have everything for it, and you can play that game over and over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, even if you just get the 10th anniversary base box for A Touch
Right.
of Evil, there's enough content there for many, many hours of gameplay. And then once you add the
Yeah.
expansions in it, you go crazy. But turning back to Shadows of Brimstone, I agree with you, and I think both of us have fallen into that money pit wholeheartedly. So,
Yeah.
I know. I think you have.
So,
I think you have more than I do. I'm pretty sure you do because you kept collecting those the expansion boxes, right? The adventure
um,
boxes.
so here's what I have the 2 core sets, and I have the Blasted Wastes Otherworld, which I haven't even gotten into. I have the Frontier Town expansion and the Black Fang Tribe mission pack, and then I have a couple of new heroes. that they made available publicly. You know, like I guess the other ones were like in that minecart pledge from Kickstarter. So like we had the Prospector and the Jargono Native,
Yeah.
and I have the Cowboy, which I wanted to use those in the campaign. And there will be more Shadows of Brimstone coming in 2022. Just wanted to let you know that. And then I do have some of the enemy packs, and I actually have the two new ones that they had released at Dice Fest. I have them. They're the Coffin Breakers and the oh shoot, what the heck are they called? Now that's that one. The Scafford Highwaymen. So those, I don't know when those will be coming out, but eventually I might try to put the Scafford Highwaymen in and have those like encounters if they're doing something maybe in the canyons or something like that. So, but we'll have to see what happens with those. But
Okay,
that's it. I'm kind of.
I find this hard to believe. Barrett, you really only have Forbidden Fortress. You don't have any of the original Shadows of Brimstone stuff, huh? That's insane. I just assumed because of the games you like, you would have been like us and had everything for that whole catalog of games. but Shadows of the Forbidden Fortress actually is very cool, and the theme is very cool on it. It mixes it up. I've never tried mixing the two together. For some reason that just doesn't feel. It feels a bit daunting to me, so I haven't done it. Remix normal Shadows of Brimstone with the Forbidden Fortress stuff. I haven't done that.
So, yeah. Yeah, Chris is saying he tried to talk me out of Shadows of Brimstone stuff, but it didn't work. In fact, actually what happened is I got the revised core sets, and the original sets that I have are now in his possession. So, hey, Shane, thanks for watching us.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
We'll see you on, we will see you guys on, you catch it on Monday. Appreciate it. Anyways, so we got some channel highlights. Those were some of the things, and I appreciate you saying that your highlight was me joining the channel. And I'll tell you what, it's been a blast to be able to do that. I had my own channel for 6 or 7 years, and it certainly is a lot more fun and a lot easier when you have somebody else that's doing it with you. Even though we live in different states, it is still really awesome to be able to have another person to bounce ideas off of, another person that kind of it kind of keeps you going because you see that they're doing stuff, and that and also makes it easier as for a channel to still be able to get content out if you run into like a block of time when when you're really busy and you may not be able to get something to the table that somebody else is still churning stuff out.
Stuff going. Yeah, absolutely. I did want to say another highlight before we get into some other things was, and Chris will remember this, was when we got together and played 10 Candles with you, me, Chris, my brother, and a friend of mine, Sterling. That was.
Oh my God.
That was a lot. For me, it was a lot of fun. I thought that was hilarious. And the way that played out was crazy.
Yes, where I got stuck being a pragmatic nymphomaniac.
Yep. And you played it well. You did a good job.
And the whole oh God. that was a blast. That was early in the year too, if I recall.
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, 10 Candles is actually a on-the-fly role-playing game where you don't need to prep. And it takes place around a circle of 10 candles where you quickly make up these personas and play through this horror theme. And as the candles go out, more and more bad things happen. It's all narrative driven by the players. And the game master's role is really just to keep the narrative going, And I don't know. I thought that was so much fun for me because I love role-playing games anyway. I play D&D every week with some other group of friends of mine, and it's just I love doing stuff like that. That was really fun. I do want to do that again at some, maybe not that game specifically, but that one-shot role-playing stuff. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've heard I know Chris has talked about Fiasco. That's another kind of a thing like that.
Yeah. Oh, Chris, you'll do it again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Bear, I think you did watch the 10 Candles thing that we did. It. Yeah, it took place at an airport. And it was
Yeah, unbelievable how much you do at an airport. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff that went on at that
there's
airport.
a lot of stuff. It was crazy. It
Yeah, and
got
then you
totally out of
finally get
hand
on the
too. It was great.
plane. Yeah.
If you're just tuning in and you haven't seen that, it's in the playlist. Just look up on our playlist, the 10 Candles playthrough. I think it was a number of videos, like 4 or 5 videos, if I recall. I'd have to go look it up, but there was several videos um, on that, and we were playing on Zoom. We're using Tabletop Simulator to do the 10 Candles piece, where we were snuffing them out and rolling dice. Um, we had some weird technical difficulties, so I had to do some clever editing. But overall, I think it turned out really nice. It was a lot of fun. Told a great narrative, great story.
That's cool. That's cool. So, um, let's see here. Well, we'll eventually get to Christmas. Some more people probably come trickling in, but since this is kind of like we're December, so it's now like 2021. Any like games that came out this year that really stood out to you as things that you really enjoyed? It may not have been something that we brought to the channel, but something that you played. Like what were some of your some like maybe your top 3 or 4 games that you played that were published this year, 2021?
I know this is going to sound bad because it's such a simple game, but it's one that I played way more off the channel than on. Was Marvel United. Uh, I went all in on that pledge, which was kind of silly. There's a lot of content, and uh, my kids, my wife, we all love it because it's such a quick game. It's like 30 minutes. We can play a couple of games of it, and then pack it up, move
Mm-hmm.
on. It's great for that. Hey, what do we want to do right now? We don't got nothing to do. Let's play a game. So I would say that was probably one of the best games I had gotten. I don't remember if that was 2020 or 2021. It might have been early 2021, but we played the heck out of that game. That was definitely one of them for sure. What about you?
It's kind of funny because I was trying to think about games that came out this year because the earlier part of this year I wasn't really buying anything. I was more kind of looking at my collection and kind of scaling it back and really evaluating what I was doing with my games. But then the later part of the year I started picking up some things. But the game Furnace from Arcane Wonders is really, really good. It's an engine building game. It has this really clever bidding mechanic where you have these little betting chips. And you put them out, and people can't have the same number or same color on these different cards that you can potentially put into your tableau to activate them for different things. But the way that the bidding works is whoever has the highest bid on there will end up getting the card. Everybody else will be compensated whatever on the card. There's like a compensation reward, and it will be multiplied by the number that you bid on. So for example, if somebody put a 4 on a card, that's the highest value, they're going to end up getting the card. But if somebody had a 3 on there, they're going to get whatever the compensation is multiplied by 3. So it's really kind of interesting because the gameplay is you're sometimes wagering, okay, I don't know if I necessarily want this card, but I'm hoping to get compensated, and so you maybe put like a 3 on there, and you end up winning, and you're like, shoot, I just wanted the compensation. I didn't really necessarily want the card, but I mean, you could still use it, but it's pretty clever that way. And so that was really like, I think to me, that's been like my favorite one that's come out so far. And then I know that you and I will be on the same page with this one, but Descent, the new Descent game, I've only dabbled in it a little bit, and I'm like, this is really, really cool. Like I can see myself sitting down and playing it, a lot, but I've been busy with working like on the weekends and stuff like that. I really haven't had a chance to dive into it, but I know that you were at BGG Con, and you said you guys were just like fell into it and just played it hours on end.
Yeah. So when we got the first day we were at BGG Con, a couple of us sat down to learn it, and we were kind of fiddling through. I'd watched some videos, so I kind of had I had an idea how it played, but I wasn't 100% sure. And this really nice guy came by, and he says, "Hey, I know how to play this. I'll teach you guys, and then you can have fun with it." And we said, "Yeah, sure. Come on, sit on down." So he sat down and started teaching us. 2.5 days later, we were all still playing that game. We put in somewhere between 10 and 12 hours. I think one day was 14 hours out of the 4 days we were there playing that game. It was
Jeez.
so engaging that we just kept going, and we wanted to see what was next. We wanted to see, that the story was getting bigger and bigger as we went, not smaller. And we thought we got to the end where we were in a big boss fight. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not going to say much about it. But we were in a big boss fight. Thought we killed the boss. Next thing you know, it opened up the game even bigger. And I was like, I had no idea. I mean, I watched a couple of videos, but I had no idea there was so much content in that game. And the way that they're so clever about how they use the cardboard components to build out the maps. I've never seen anything like it. It was completely unique and different. It was so creative. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did a little research on that game, and they say that on the campaign itself, 50 to 65 hours of playtime to do the campaign. So, I mean, yeah, it has a little bit of a hefty price tag, but that's a lot of gameplay. I mean, that's a lot more hours than you're going to spend on a lot of other games that you may purchase. You
Yeah.
may spend, the price of games now. You're going to spend $70 for a game. You're going to play it once, and it may only last like 2 hours. So, for the amount of money, if you were to play through that whole Descent campaign, I mean, you're really getting your money's worth.
Yeah, and I bought it retail, and I don't regret it at all. When I say retail, I think I got it off Miniature Market, so it wasn't like brick and mortar store retail, but it was retail. And
I managed to get it on Black Friday, and I told you how that went down.
Yeah,
I managed to get the game. I managed to get it for 50% off, so I got it for half price. So, which is amazing, which was crazy, insane. I'm like, I can't pass this up. So,
yeah, it was a good one.
I know another good game for me that I remembered. It may not have been published this year, but I'll tell you one that's really, really good, and I'm going to be doing a solo play for the channel, is Dune Imperium, which is the same designer who did Clank. And it is really, really clever how it uses using the deck building mechanic and how you play cards out of your hand to take actions and things like that. And so that is it's really engaging, and it has a great solo component to it, and just one thing, on terms of the channel, and I'm sure Doug, you're going to agree with me. A lot of times we're doing games that are either solo or cooperative because it's easier to film because we're like filming by ourselves. And secondly, the other thing is there's a lot of people they're not really getting together with folks. Yet they're playing games by themselves, and so it's a great way to show off. Give people options of games that they can still enjoy the hobby, even if they're doing it in a solitaire method.
Yeah, I wish there was a way for our video to be synced with when the chat is, because I see the questions come in a little later. We're already moved on to another topic, but I want to backtrack up because I did, Barrett. I did watch. I think the first. I didn't want to spoil it for myself, but I did watch one of the episodes. I think it was the first one of you and Colin playing Descent, and yeah, such a super cool game. And you're right, the board presence is unmatched. I mean, when we were at the convention, people would just walk by and go, "What is that?" and see what we were doing. Now we didn't even have painted miniatures or anything, but just the way the whole landscape builds out and all the 3D terrain and everything. It's definitely an eye catcher. So yeah.
Yeah. So definitely for those of you who are interested in that game, put it on your Christmas list. Maybe somebody will get it for you.
Heck yeah, it's well to me. It'd be well worth it. Yeah. Plus, if you can wrangle your family into it, there's a lot of content.
Yes, there is. And the nice thing is that this is the new integration with an app-assisted game, and it takes care of a lot of your bookkeeping. So it makes you can actually get more into enjoying the game because you just do your part, and then whenever you need to interact with the app, it's just a couple of swipes of things, and it'll take care of take care of everything. So if you're in a battle, it'll take care of managing your damage, and you just input your dice values, how many successes you have, and it takes care of everything for you, and it makes it so much easier. So you can actually spend more time enjoying the story and enjoying enjoying the whole table presence and everything, knowing that the app is taking care of the rest of the stuff for you.
Yeah, we actually found the game to be pretty tactical. Like there, you have to make some real decisions in the game about where you're moving, your placement, um, and the fatigue system, where you have the fatigue on your cards and you flip the cards to get rid of fatigue, but you also might get rid of some good stuff too when you do that. I think that all that was very
Hmm.
clever and engaging. And I also think that this is an interesting topic of discussion with apps in general. But I liked the fact that the app didn't do everything for you. It still made the board and your miniatures on the board and your decision making on the board important.
Hmm.
And I there's a lot of games like I think Lord of the Rings has the Lord of the Rings game has some of that. I think you have that now too, right, Dave?
I did pick it up. Yes, I haven't had a chance to get into it, but it is something that I'm planning on getting into soon. I know that I'm getting the Shadowed Paths expansion for Christmas, so um, that's only because I told my wife what I wanted, and she's like, "Well, go ahead and order it, and I'll wrap it up for you." Okay, fine.
That's how that
But
goes, right?
yeah, so that's going to be coming. But a friend of mine who I play with locally here has played through the whole Journeys in Middle Earth, the original core set campaign, and he said it was fantastic. He played it during the whole lockdown, so he played it by himself, and so looking forward to getting into playing that. I know that Chris is like, "I'll play it with you. I'll play it with you." Chris will. If I get Chris over at my house, we'll play anything. In fact, we're supposed to get together tomorrow. Um, but yeah, I know that from what people have said, that even though like the Lord of the Rings, the app was even an improvement from Mansions of Madness, and now the Descent one is an even more of an improvement over the Lord of the Rings one. So they just keep making, they keep learning from their previous, whether it's mistakes or good things that worked, and they just keep improving the apps. And I think that the app assisted games are going to be something that's here to stay, and it's going to be we're going to see more of that integration of the digital aspect along with the physical, like cardboard tabletop things.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually I know there's a big debate about the value of app games in board games and what that does for the industry or to the industry. I personally like the app games. I don't see any like the Descent's a great example of that with the all the you could never do the level of crafting. Like I know you haven't gotten that far into it, but you can craft items, you can enhance your items there. You could do that in a pure board game, but the amount of fiddliness and work you would have to do, I think, would be just overwhelming. When you find out how deep the Descent crafting system actually is, it's really deep. I was That's another thing that surprised and impressed me in the game, and I think that if apps focus on those aspects of the board game to make it so that it's more accessible on the board and everything like that, but still gives you that depth, I think that's the way to go in the future of app-driven games.
Yeah, so I know Chris just said he's looking forward to Return to Dark Tower when that shows up. Now, is that the newer iteration of that? Is that also using an app with it? Do you know?
It is. It is. So not only so I backed that. I guess Chris, maybe you did too, but I backed it. It has the whole tower like the old board game. So I taking a step back, I tried to find the original board game, and you can, but you're going to pay for it. I mean, it's like if you get a solid copy, they're $300 to $500. And so
Hmm.
when the new one was coming out, I said, I know it won't be the same, but it's still cool, so I'll back it. And it's the tower, but it also is app driven. In addition to that, so there's coordination between the app and the tower. And again, it's not out yet, so I'm not exactly sure how all that works, but that's the gist of it.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of other old games that have apps, did you get Hero Quest?
I did.
And I believe that uses an app, I
It
think
can.
now, or something like that.
So
Okay.
Hero Quest, the original Hero Quest and the new one are basically, I wouldn't say a one. I think our stream is freezing, by the way. I don't think it's not really a one versus many, but it's like a game master and players. And the game master is supposed to beat the players essentially, but navigate them through the dungeon. You can take that role out and just use the app to play the game as just players. And that acts
Okay.
as the game master, so to speak. Um, so if you don't want to play it with the game master and the players, then you can do that instead. But I it's really more of a support function than a replacement or a truly app-driven game like Descent. Like there's no
Okay.
connectivity between the app and the board game. It just eliminates the need for a game master.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So,
I don't mind being the game master on a game like that. It's a lot of fun.
yeah, so I know that I remember when it came out, I did not don't have any experience with Hero Quest, and I didn't pick that up. I know that there was a lot of people that somebody had posted up a picture, and it's like my childhood has arrived, and it had a whole bunch of like their boxes and everything else like that. So um, anyways, so let me ask you this. So now we've got some people watching, and I'm curious. We one of the things I talked about we wanted to talk about was Christmas. We're a couple weeks out yet, so still time to still people are doing their Christmas shopping or things like that. But I'm just kind of curious. Doug, I'll ask you, and I'll ask the audience too. You guys, do you guys have what are some of the games that you have like on your Christmas wish list? What are some of the things that maybe you're hoping to that Santa will bring you, or maybe you're going to pick up for yourself? Maybe if you get gift cards, or if you've done a Secret Santa, anything that you've gotten. So I guess I'll ask, Doug, you got it? Do you have anything on your Christmas wish list?
I do. Hold on. I just want to check something on our stream. I'm trying to see how I can mute this. It looks like our stream was stuttering, so I wanted to check it on my
Okay.
phone. But it looks like it's okay on the phone. So maybe it's
Okay.
my PC here because I got a lot running.
Okay.
Unfortunately for me, for Christmas wish games, I kind of already did it, right?
Right.
I think it's like you, where you're going to get something for Christmas. Your wife's going to wrap it and go here. I think it's going to be a similar event for me. I know, like for example, I have Great Wall coming. Because I believe it or not, I know you never see it on the channel very much, but I really enjoy like strategy Euro style games. I enjoy them a lot. I just don't get to do them on the channel. So that one's coming in I think it's just shipping now. And I think I have something else shipping, but I can't recall what it is. So, I mean, that one I'm really looking forward to because it looks like a great strategy game. A lot of fun.
Cool.
What are you chasing?
I know for my, you know what, for myself, I was thinking, well, I know that I'm getting the one thing, the Journeys in Middle Earth expansion, but
Yeah.
I'm also would like Anno 1800, the Martin Wallace game.
Yeah.
I do like most of the time when I play games, like when I'm not doing stuff for the channel, I do like a lot more of the strategy games. And I was watching a walkthrough of it, and it looks like to me something that would be just kind of cool, trying to make all the pieces work, kind of working out this puzzle. Okay, I'm using these workers to get this. I'm making this more efficient. So I think that to me that's a game that I'm interested in. So yeah, Anno 1800 is one. Looks like we've got some people here. Oath Sworn. So meet me at the table, like Oath Sworn is one, and Chris says he wants Unfathomable.
I want that
Cthulhu
too, actually.
Battlestar Galactica.
I pre-ordered it, and then I didn't get it, so I left the pre-order sit there because I thought I'd be able to pick it up at BGG Con, and it wasn't there.
Okay.
So I got to get a hold of that one because I am a huge fan of the Battlestar Galactica game. You want to get 6 people together to have a lot of fun. That game is great, and I think Unfathomable with the reskin and retheme and some streamlined mechanics, that's got to be a good one. And also, yeah, Barrett said, "Oh, Sworn, you can dream." I know. I tried to find a copy of that too, and it's just not happening. Oh, Sworn is a big story-driven game. I think it's like one of the boss battlers in a sense, if I recall the right game. I think I have it right in my head. Like Kingdom Death Monster or something like that, where it's a boss battler. Yeah.
So. Yeah, I know the one thing that I was kind of hoping to have that was like a story-driven game. I had pre-ordered Vagrant Song, and I don't know if it's been pushed back or whatever they did with their printing, but it's not. Now I think it got pushed back to 2022.
Yeah.
They're already like taking orders for a second printing, and I thought that was like my number one anticipated game from Gen Con, and when we were there, we went on the last day and it was sold out. So apparently there was a lot more people that were looking at it than I had thought. Because usually it's like, okay, weird miniatures or weird games or whatever. It is not exactly, like when I think of board games, I don't think of that's like a publisher that is well known for like board games. They have their Malifaux and stuff like that. They're miniatures. But I guess that one is really, that's captivated a lot of people, and I like the idea of it. So that one, that was pretty cool. So I'm hoping, eventually I was hoping that would show up, because that's going to be a fun one to bring, to play to the channel. You could play it solo and stuff like that. So that should be pretty neat.
I know
But
we
that's
both.
supposed to be
I
story
know we both
driven.
pre-ordered that one. I'm looking forward to that one too. At BGG Con, they did have 2 copies of it in the library, and I tried to grab it a couple of times, but between our massive Descent plays, and it was always checked out. So it was clearly very popular there too, and people were playing. I saw it on the table, and with those clear miniatures, the way they looked really neat on the table. It looks like
Yeah, they're they're acrylic. Yeah, they
acrylic.
had the game on display. They had the game on display at Gen Con, and it looks amazing. Like at first I was thinking, like, when I saw the price tag, I'm like, that's kind of expensive. But then when you look at it, I'm like, wow, the actual, like, the production quality of it is really, really, really good. I mean, the pieces look amazing on there. And so I'm just, and then it's gotten high marks so far from people that have played it. So that's definitely one that I'm looking forward to. So, but that's like one of those story driven ones also. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
Uh,
another game like that kind of crosses 2 themes, like the Oathsworn with the boss battler and Vagrant Song with the ghosts and other interesting elements or interesting characters that they have there in the art style. Reminds me of another one that I am anticipating and waiting for, which is Township Tussle, which is I did a tabletop simulator video of it on the channel a long time ago, and it hasn't come out in print yet. But it's basically kind of a boss battler too, but it's done with I don't know what era. I guess it was 1930s, 1940s cartoon style. Much
mhm.
like, if anybody plays video games, there's a video game called Cuphead. It has a very similar, like, 1930s old Mickey Mouse Disney style kind of artwork. When you think of some of those old cartoons, it has a lot of that. And it's a really neat looking game. The gameplay is a lot of fun too. That's definitely one, if you're into boss battlers and can't buy or find Oathsworn, that might be a
Mhm.
good alternative. So
That's cool.
yeah.
So, while we're talking about, we were asking people what was on their Christmas lists and stuff like that. And there's another question for all of you guys, because this, part of the thing is we want to interact with you guys. Is, what are your Christmas plans? Are you guys traveling or getting together with family, hosting? What are you guys doing? Like, Doug, what are you guys doing for Christmas there and down in Texas?
Yeah, nothing. I mean,
Nothing.
I'm gonna be doing the channel. We're gonna relax. I've had a incredibly busy year in my personal life, and as some of you know, I've also had some challenging experiences with a child of mine. We've had some tough times there, and so really, we just want to relax this holiday season and just enjoy the family and play some games and relax, chill out. What about you,
Oh, that's
Dave?
cool. Usually, my sister's birthday is on Christmas, but we always go Christmas Eve. We go over to my sister's house. And it's just because that's all I have is like my sister and her husband and kids, and then it's our family. Will go over there, and usually we've been doing, like, lately when we get together, we usually will play some sort of games. Like, usually there'll be party games, or a lot of times my niece Maggie, we call her Game Show Maggie, they'll get together and they do these I forgot what the heck it's called now, but they use them in school where they make those it's like a little quiz thing, and like answer them really fast, like those trivia things like you'd see at Buffalo Wild Wings. And I forget what they're called, but anyways, we do that, where we'll usually play those. We'll play some other stuff, but and then we do like a kind of a gift exchange. And then Christmas Day we pretty much stay at home. I'll probably try to get some gaming in, since I have new stuff that I know that at least one thing that's coming, but I don't know. But that's pretty much what I'll be doing. And then I know my one son will be up for the week between Christmas and New Year's, and he'll play games. So I'll probably end up spending some time with him. But usually we try to make Christmas pretty relaxing. So
Yeah.
Barrett's going to be snow blowing. in Minnesota. Well, you don't know that you're going to have snow yet, Barrett. So, I mean, maybe you're hoping for snow. I don't like snow, but
I don't know.
anyways,
Some of my
that sounds.
coworkers said they finally started getting snow up in Denver, but I was down here and it was 80 degrees and my air conditioner is still running down in
Yeah, well, the
Austin.
funny thing was they're talking about getting snow in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Chris has like a lot of he has a big family, so they've got everybody there in his house. They'll be playing games. So Andrew, thanks for joining us. They said nice and quiet Christmas with family. Hopefully not to here in Australia. So it's awesome
Yeah.
that we've got somebody on the other side of the world joining us. So appreciate that.
So Andrew, you'll get a kick out of this. I lived in Bondi Beach for about 2 years illegally, but I had gone down there on a vacation and didn't come home because I loved it so much for quite a bit of time. But I do remember Christmas down there, and it was hot at Christmas, very warm. So yeah, it's good to have an Aussie here.
Awesome. So so
Wait,
that's kind of
Barrett
cool.
just
We
said
got
they
a
got
few
to
people.
12 degrees today. Holy moly!
Or is it?
Is that
Or it
12?
says we got 12 feet.
12,
Is it, or
12
12
inches?
inches.
12
Maybe he's
inches of
got
snow?
snow. I don't know.
I don't know. Whatever it is, that doesn't sound good. Right? So,
Yeah, you can keep that. We had we were supposed to get some crazy weather here. I live just outside of Chicago, and I guess up through Illinois they're supposed to have some nasty weather coming through. And I know today when I came home it was raining. Earlier this week it was pretty cold. But I'm not ready for. We didn't really have like a fall here. It went from warm to cold.
yeah.
And so
Yeah.
it's like, so I don't know about that, but it's interesting to see what we have. So I'm just curious. Like I was curious to see what people are going to be doing. So it seems like we're going to have everybody's going to be kind of taking it pretty chill for Christmas, at least the people that are watching. So looks like that's always good. Spend time with family is always important, especially around the holidays and stuff like that. So it's just that's kind of cool. I just wanted to see, one of the things that by doing the like these live streams is to interact with people and like, hey, you get to know us, we get to know you. As we're more that, sometimes it's kind of nice to be able to connect with people more than like, okay, you see comments on a video like, hey, this is really great, or you guys suck, or you got this rule wrong, or whatever, So, anyways, well, and sorry to be like kind of like steering this thing here, Doug. I know a lot of times you usually take care of meetings
No,
and
it's
stuff
all
like
good.
that,
It's
so it
all
makes
good.
it a
I've
little
been
bit easier.
watching the chat to see what people are saying, and
Yeah.
I am also watching.
So,
our stream is actually not performing as well as I would like. That's what I was looking at. We're dropping frames, so I hope that's not disrupting our ability to chat with our folks.
hopefully not.
Yeah.
But so the other thing is too, is I'm curious, like, what are some of the games that you're looking forward to that are supposed to be releasing in 2022? I'll ask you, Doug, and I'm also asking everybody else that's in the chat. What are some of the games that have a 2022 release date, tentative release date? So what are some of the things that you're looking forward to?
Yeah. So we talked about two of them already. One of them is Vagrant Song.
Well, Vagrant Song, yes.
And I mentioned Township Tussle as another one.
Okay.
And I'm going to go take a look at something while we're talking about this, and I'll let some other people answer from the chat, perhaps. While I want to see. I do have some things I'm looking forward to. It's just I'm getting old, and I need to remind myself occasionally of what that is.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
I'm looking forward to the Brimstone Adventures, which is like the next thing in the Shadows of Brimstone, and I think supposed to be coming. I don't know if it's going to be the second half of 2022. So that's one that I'm looking forward to. I'm trying to think of what else there is. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. That's something I didn't really back a lot of things on Kickstarter this year, because what I did was I always found that whenever I backed a project on Kickstarter, I was excited about it when I backed it, and then by the time it showed up, I had already kind of moved on to something else because there's usually that large gap. So I don't know. I'm trying to think of other things that are going to be coming out. And if it's 2022, I guess that one of the things that I'm looking forward to would be the Pub Crawl edition, which is the latest in Red Dragon Inn. That
Yeah,
Red
that's
Dragon
gonna
Inn
be
was a game
good.
that I kind of fell into this year, so Chris is guilty of the same thing too. We've kind of acquired all the stuff, but the Pub Crawl, the interesting aspect is moving from bar to bar. And there's different events that come out, and there's different drink decks at each of the bars. So I'm just curious to see how that is going to play out.
Yeah, I'm
So
curious about
that's
that one myself. And I don't know why this should be a no-brainer for me for 2022, but is Darkest Dungeon the board game? Because that's one of my favorite tactical computer games. Both of them, the old one, the original one, which has a lot of depth and a lot of gameplay, and the new one. In fact, if you're a board gamer and you want to dabble in computer games, Darkest Dungeon is one of the ways to go. That game is absolutely fantastic. And then the second one's great too. So the board game, I'm hoping it lives up to my expectations. It looks beautiful. We'll see.
hmm. I'm actually the other one I'm looking forward to. Believe it or not, is going to be the director's cut for Slaughterville.
Yes. Yes.
And an interesting thing about that is in the last update, the game's already in production, which is really cool. And he's working on Slaughterville 3. And like all good slasher type things, I mean, there's got to be constant sequels, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Slaughterville is another
Uh,
game that I had the original one put on the channel ages ago. And that's
right,
another game that kind of falls into the same category for me as A Touch of Evil. And it has a lot of the same feel to it. Where you go to a location and something crazy happens and it's totally random. And you go like the one I played recently where I went to the supermarket and every card I turned over there was zombies in this, just trying to get some stuff in the supermarket and there's zombies all
right.
over the place. It's like it was a lot of fun when I
Yeah,
played
so
the Final Girls I played 3 girls and called them the Final Girls and was playing that. That was a fun one.
yeah, well, one of the games that's going to be coming, like I'm going to be doing Slaughterville 2, and that's going to be coming after I'm going to have it out in January. I'm going to film it
Yeah.
probably between Christmas and New Year's. And for those of you guys watching, we're going to be taking on Dr. Frankenstein. And I'll tell you what, there was some things I had messaged the designer. I had a couple of questions, and I mentioned to him about one of the encounters that I have, and he basically apologized for it. He goes, "I had to put that in there. It was just really bad." But it seemed like every single time I flipped over a card, I'm like, can things get any worse? So my law and dice rolling was I certainly on par of rolling like crap.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it just everything that was bad that was going to happen was certainly it was just compounding. So I'm looking forward to playing it. It's so much fun, and it's like one of those things. It's like, okay, this is so ridiculous. I'm like, this is just bad, 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 and I'm like, but I don't mind because I'm playing it and I'm losing and I'm laughing because I'm like, this is just so terrible. I'm
Yeah.
losing,
Yeah.
but it was like, okay, you know.
But that's one of those games that's fun to lose. And by the way, absolutely a hidden gem, right? I mean, I don't know how
For sure.
broadly aware people are of Slaughterville, but it is a really fun little game. And it's very clever. And the second edition, I got the second edition too, and I'm looking forward to the director's cut. Just a very clever, fun game to play. You don't have to put too much mental capacity into it to enjoy it. You just roll the dice and do crazy stuff and
Right.
try and catch the killer or defeat the killer, and it's a lot of fun. I see Barrett was
Right.
saying too many games. Nemesis, Lockdown, Oathsworn, Brimstone Adventures, Madara Act 2 and 3, Stars of Icarus, Frosthaven, and he keeps on going. Marvel,
Yeah.
X-Men, Stretch Goals, Cora Quest for the kids, and Eli. I'm not sure what that one is. Anyway, Barrett, you're going to get in trouble. You're spending too much money on games.
Yeah, I backed Cora Quest, so
Yeah.
that's going to be kind of fun. I thought it was kind of an interesting thing with, a father and his daughter designing a board game and then actually publishing it, and I think it's going to be really I think it's going to be really special. I look forward to playing it. Just mostly to support like a creative endeavor like that was the
Yeah.
reason that I jumped in.
Yeah.
And besides that, Barrett and his son played it, and they were having such a blast with it. So I'm like, oh my god, I'm like, all right, I got to jump in on this because him and his son were just they were having way too much fun playing that.
I watched that. That does look like a fun game. I'm thinking of some games now. Starting to come to me some things I'm looking forward to. And there's a game that I backed. I probably backed too many games last year. Called the Shivers, which is a game.
Okay.
It's just like a mystery storytelling game where all of the boards are pop-ups, and you have to find the things. And it can change. There's things you slot in to make it replayable and more random. But it's a very pretty looking game, and the gameplay looks like a lot of fun. It's not out yet, but there's a pop-up book for each of the different acts and things, and you can expand on it. They even give you some blank ones to make your own pop-ups, but it looks like a really neat game, and that's another one I forgot that I was looking forward to for the family. That thinking of family style type games, that one looked like it was one that anybody in the family would enjoy, whether they're a gamer or not.
Right. Let's see. Somebody said they're looking. Oh, Andrew says he's looking forward to getting Max Apocalypse, Wasted Wild, Roll Camera, and Masters of the Universe for next year. So he's a big fan of Masters of the Universe. So playing with He-Man and Skeletor. I think that's a CMON game, if I recall.
Yeah, it is. So Andrew, did you see the new? The second season is out now, but this first season of the new Masters of the Universe, and what did you think of it? I know there's a lot of controversy around that one. Some people said they hated it, and other people thought it was great. And it was done by Kevin Smith, and he got a lot of heat because he changed the storyline up and changed some canon. Curious what people who may have watched that might think about it and in relation to the game. I don't know if the game has any connection to the new series or not, but it'd be interesting to know.
So, you know what? Another thing that I was looking forward to is there is an expansion for Concordia. So it's going to be Concordia Solitaria or whatever. So it's going to now allow for a solo play. Concordia is one of my favorite games. And so I'm looking forward to the solitaire version of that, so I can practice and be able to beat my friends when we play. So that should be pretty fun.
That will be fun.
And then the Rise of Ix expansion for Dune Imperium, which is going to add some extra elements of how that game plays. So that should be pretty fun. So some expansions that are coming out should be pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't actually own any Dune games. I had the original one a long time ago, and now I don't have any more of those games at all. I got rid of it ages ago and haven't picked up any of the new ones, even though I love the movie that came out. It was well done.
Yeah, so I have Dune Imperium, and then I picked up the Dune 2019, which is the re-update of the 1979 classic, the one that you really want to have 6 players, and it takes a long time to play. Mm-hmm. So eventually I plan on doing that, but I also picked up the Dune, A Game of Conquest and Diplomacy, which is the shorter playing one, and we played a 3-player game and 45 minutes of gameplay. We were done in an hour, including the teach.
Wow, that's perfect, right?
And it has the storm moves around, and you have the spice blow that comes out, and then you get to deploy your units onto the planet surface, and you can move, and you're trying to control strongholds or have the most spice by the end of the game. And you've got trader cards in there, and you have the battle wheel just like the other Dune game. And so I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to playing it more. I'm going to be doing a little. I have to film it maybe this weekend, but it's I've got some upgrades for my Dune games that I've done. Some of them I actually bought off of Etsy, and I was inquiring with him about making a set of things for the Dune Game of Conquest and Diplomacy, and he's like, you know what, I'm going to send you some. Just take some pictures of them in action, for me. So I did, and I said I'll do one better. I'm actually going to be doing an upgrade video, and so I'll be showing those off. So that'd be kind of fun.
That's very cool. Yeah, I love when
Yeah.
you bling out your games. Hey, I am noticing
Yes.
this is a little concerning, but our channel is definitely the stream is having issues. I notice it keeps restarting.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing that. So hopefully you guys that are bear with us on this. So it's sometimes we have things that are out of our control.
Yeah.
So we've been talking about things that we're games that we're looking forward to and stuff like that. But I want to know from our audience. I know right now there's like a couple people that are watching, but also if you guys are watching this afterwards, what are some of the things that you would like to see from our channel? Like what are some of the what are some games that you are hoping to see covered? Because we'd really like to know. One of the things it's interesting to poll our audience to see like what are you guys looking for. So we can do things so we can make that happen. I mean, sometimes, you guys get turned on to games that we're bringing to the channel, but sometimes it's important for us to be turned on to games that you guys are looking
Yeah.
forward to.
Yeah.
And so hopefully, let us know what you guys are looking forward to. And then also, while we're waiting for those things to kind of come in, Doug, do you have anything that you can think of off the top of your head that you're looking to bring to the channel in 2022, or any new ideas that you wanted to discuss and maybe get some input from our audience on?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to harken back to the discussion around 10 Candles. Um, I've had this itch to do more role playing type things on the channel as part of the channel, and I'd be curious to know if that's something people would be interested in. It's because it requires an investment of time, and so I've been thinking about doing it. Another thing I would like to do and know if people would like to see is a big giant Kingdom Death monster playthrough with a few people using Tabletop Simulator. Um, there's all the expansions are up there, and I have a rule with Tabletop Simulator: if I don't own it, I won't play it. But I own
Mm-hmm.
all the Kingdom Death monster stuff, so I'd be excited to play that with a bunch of folks and have an ongoing campaign. That I don't know if people would be interested in that or not, but those are the two things that are outside the normal getting cool board games to the table. The things I'd like to do differently or change, maybe even do thinking about like what we're doing here now, Dave, is do like a podcast and invite some people in, that might want to join us.
Right. Yeah, that might be that's something that I know that we've talked about, and we should probably work on making that happen. I know the other thing that I'm one of the things that I'm hoping to do, and I'm hoping that you guys would appreciate this, is like, so on my old channel when I had To the Table Gaming with Family and Friends, I used to have segments called Board Game Bling, and I would show off different upgrades or accessories or things for different games, kind of bring to light, some people that make stuff that makes our games better, whether it's well, if you see in my videos, I always have this blue background that was provided to me by Big Viking Mats. So it's like kind of a neat upgrade, like something you upgrade your space, or inserts for games, or doing like certain blinging things. Like, I know that on Halloween I had done the thing for Horrified, and I used the Funko figures that I had tracked down to do that kind of stuff. Do you guys want to see videos like that kind of stuff? Like just ideas for blinging out your games, or things that we find. For example, I came across a guy. I purchased some stuff off of Etsy, and then it turned into like a working relationship where he sent some stuff for me. Just all he asked for was just some pictures. He didn't even know that I had a channel until I mentioned, I'm like, I have a YouTube channel, and I'm just going to, I'll do one better. You send them to me. I'm going to do a video showing off some upgrades, because it was something that I did for my games, and other people may want to do the same thing. So I'm curious to see if you guys would be interested in that kind of stuff. Like the just some upgrade videos in addition to like our
I am.
playthroughs. Also, do you guys want to see like tutorials at all? Like a how to play. I mean, sometimes I would make a more conscious effort to get the rules right, because a lot of times, if you see, I usually get better about watching the playback. Like, yeah, I should have done this, or I didn't do that. Those kind of things. I mean, are you guys looking for that kind of stuff, or are you guys, getting your tutorial fix from somewhere
Elsewhere.
else?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then I'd like to do some, like we're doing like this, like the chat thing. I'd like to collaborate and have some more like group discussions with some of our, some of our friend, like our, channel friends for, like on other channels to kind of get, just kind of bounce ideas off each other and kind of help promote other people's channels. Because that's
Yeah,
kind of like how
love
we
to.
met.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I think
So,
all of those are great ideas. You threw out a bunch of stuff. I hope we get a lot of responses to it because I'd be curious to know what people would like to see. I mean, I've always taken a position on the tutorials that if I
mhm,
did them, I do them very differently. Like when I do the playthroughs, like you said, we're going to make mistakes as a full playthrough, and I never list them as a review or a tutorial or anything. I always list them as a play session because I know I'm going to do something wrong, and I don't want to take what I do and have people think that's canon, that's the rule, right? If I
right,
mess it up, and sometimes I know you do this too, we'll use house rules for things, and that's part of the fun of a playthrough, as opposed to a tutorial or something like that. But I would be really curious to know if people would want to see like formal tutorials, or is there enough of that out there already? You know?
right, right. Because I mean, it's no secret that that or one of these things. Oh, Chris, thanks for coming back. But one of the things that there's a lot of there's a lot of different things that a lot of different options for people who are into board gaming, in terms of media to consume. And so
Yeah.
we're trying to make a conscious effort to be, your we want it to be the choice of somebody that you're going to watch. So that's why we're asking, trying to interact with you guys. It's we do this for fun. It's not like we're doing this for a job, or we're not doing this for, we don't get paid or anything like that. So but we're just trying to make this channel the best for everybody, including ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, both of us came into this with just doing it for fun, and I think that's where we're going to keep it. But it would be nice to provide what people want to see, and if that's different or changing, I'd like to know what that is. It's because we've been doing playthroughs for a long time, right? And is there other things
Right,
we could be doing that people would enjoy? Yeah,
right.
within the
Like,
hobby.
and right, right. And like I said, some discussions, and Chris says he needs more accurate tutorials, but that's just me. Well, what's your definition of
I
accurate?
was going to go there.
Because if I sit there and I mean, I'd have to watch back, even if I thought was accurate, I'd have to go back and probably still end up putting things up on the screen like, "Oops, I should have done that."
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So yeah. Well, I know for myself, like for the channel, I have some things that are going to be trickling in. I've got some publishers that are going to be sending some product over to bring to the channel. So I know that, and Chris is going to help me out on this. We're actually going to be doing a playthrough of the Harry Potter edition of Talisman. So that should be pretty fun. Where it's where they have alignments where there's teams of you've got the Order of the Phoenix versus the Death Eaters, and there's some interesting rules in there. So I think that that's going to be kind of fun. It takes Talisman and streamlines it a bit. So looking forward to that.
I hope that's going to be.
Moonshine.
I hope that's going to be good because I got the Talisman version. There was what else? Something else came out with the Talisman version. Batman.
There was there was Batman, and there was a Kingdom Hearts, which was a Disney one.
Yeah, the Batman one. I didn't dig it. I mean, it was
Okay.
Talisman, but it didn't. It just didn't sit well for me. I was just hoping for better, but I hope that the Harry Potter one is maybe the theme will play better against the mechanics or something.
Yeah, well, one of the interesting things in there is that Voldemort roams around the board, kind of like the Reaper, and there's also an opportunity for you to be able to steal the followers, like capture followers from your opponent. So if they have a follower, you can go and basically snipe them out, take them essentially as a prisoner, which is
Oh,
kind of cool.
cool. That's interesting. All right. All right.
Yeah, so that should be pretty fun. Some other ones like Cape May, um, which is kind of a new. It's like a little bit moving around, developing like that area in New Jersey. I'm kind of looking forward to checking that out. Like I said, we're going to have Slaughterville 2. That's going to be a good one. Kick off the new year with just like definitely going up against some slashers and. So those are just some of the things I can think of off of the top of my head. So I'm going to be trickling out some other things. I'll be going through my, my library, and whatever I feel like, playing, I'm going to try to do my best to present it for you guys. But, I'm more interested to see what you guys are looking for, so we can, try to track those games down, or maybe we have them in our libraries.
We probably do between us. Right? I mean, if it's a
Right.
game, if it's a game that's themed like most of the people probably watching our games would like, there's odds that one of us is going to have it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Most likely.
as we get closer to Christmas, I am going to take another swing at the Nutcracker over the Christmas break to see if I can make that a little more of an enjoyable playthrough instead of getting just trounced the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to do that one, and I also I have this ambitious goal of doing every uh, box in the Final Girl series.
Okay.
So I've got two.
Oh,
I got another one filmed. I haven't posted it yet, but it's filmed.
so by the way, speaking of Final Girl, one of my coworkers has been watching your playthroughs for Final Girl.
Oh wow! Okay, awesome. I love
So
that. I love that.
yeah, because we started talking about some stuff, because he had mentioned something about Set a Watch, and I'm like, oh, I said, you know what, I'm a part of a YouTube channel, and the guy who does it, he just did Set a Watch.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, really? What's the channel? So I told him, and so he subscribed. So I'm like, hey, that's awesome. So
That's great. Just tell
got
them it's
one
not a
more for.
tutorial.
Yeah. So anyway, so I think that's like I said, you guys let us know what you're looking for in the video, and I know we probably we've been on here now. We just got to talked about things that we wanted to. I know, Doug, you've just you haven't even been inside to go and get dinner or anything like that, so we probably want to wrap this up. But you guys, thank you for joining us. Thank you for supporting us throughout the year with your comments, your likes. Thank you for subscribing to our channel. So real quick, Andrew says he'd really appreciate you guys getting camera close to the table. Love being able to see the board, player boards, and components. All right. I will see what we can do in terms of getting the I'll try to do my best to zoom in a little bit more on a lot of things. I've been trying to do that stuff. So
I'm going to guess that Andrew's talking about, and I've been thinking about doing this myself, but when you have the camera that's over the table and shows the entire table, when I watch those kind of playthroughs, the camera's pretty far away. Where I use, as you can see back behind me, there's a tripod, and I use the tripod up close to the table, so it's a lot closer. I like it better that way. It seems like Andrew feels that way as well. But that'd be another thing I'd love to hear about. Like, what would you prefer? Would you prefer that overhead? Do you like the close-up view where I clip things and I can't show the whole game at one time, so I have to move things around?
Right.
I think you do this a similar thing. That'd be interesting to know.
Right. Yeah, that's I do the same thing with the tripod and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
But anyways, back to everything. I know you guys thank you for subscribing to the channel and your likes and your comments and stuff. I know, Doug, you probably appreciate the same thing as well.
I do.
And just hope that you guys will have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, or if you're celebrating any other holidays, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. I'm not sure if there's what other ones are around this season, but I appreciate you. Like I said, we appreciate you guys, your support. And again, let us know what you guys are looking for. And thank you guys for checking us out tonight and bearing with us despite some technical difficulties with our stream and stuff like that. And we will be try to do this a little bit more often. We'll try to get some time to interact with you guys, and hopefully maybe we can bring you guys in to you can join and we can all talk like Zoom or something like that. So we'll have to see that, make that happen. So
yeah, I'll just piggyback off what you said, Dave. I really appreciate everybody and all of the subscriptions and likes over the years, and the comments, even the ones where they're telling us how to fix our rules mistakes. I enjoy all of it, and I wouldn't be doing this otherwise. So thank you all for being a part of the channel, and we do want to engage more with you than we have in the past, and make time to hear what you want, what you guys want to see. So thank you all very much. And again, I also apologize for the technical difficulties at the beginning and some bumps along the way, but this is our first one of these. We will make them better. So thank you so
So.
much, Dave. Any parting comments?
No, just
Okay.
you know, thank you guys, and look forward to bringing a lot more stuff to the table for you guys to
Yes.
enjoy.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you
So,
all. We're going to end it here. I appreciate the stream and for all of you joining us. So take care, and we'll see you soon, probably in the
all
next
right.
stream or video.